Hello and welcome to Joe from Cincinnati's YouTube channel, or I guess Wardens of the Midwest, whatever you want to call me, that's what I am. I got here with me Dan.
Hello. Also, all things to all men. Just imagine it, and it will be so.
So, we last cycle was kind of a mess in terms of card previews because everything was being spoiled like a month before it came out. So there were several times where Wardens of the Midwest slash Joe from Cincinnati got a couple spoilers for different chapter packs, but then before we could actually do an episode or do anything with them, they'd be spoiled, and then it's just kind of pointless to do
Those,
anything with
those
those.
cheeky Italians, eh?
Yeah, those cheeky Italians. So,
Those cheeky eye towels.
so now we finally got some cards that were some spoilers that are not already spoiled, which is fantastic. It's pretty exciting. So,
I'm excited.
and by the way, I don't think that there's a problem that the Italians could get spoilers. I think they should get some spoilers, but it just when they spoiled all 20 cards 2 or 3 weeks before the chapter pack came out, it just caused problems for other people who want to spoil things, obviously. So, uh, I think that if they were able to get two cards like I do, and Beyond the Wall and all those places get, that'd be perfectly fine. So I'm not.
So, do you think it's fair to say that the expression one could use in this scenario would be share the love, guys?
Share the love.
Share the love.
Share
Dish
the
it
love.
out. That's what it's there for. It's there for sharing.
Yeah. So, me and Dan haven't been around, at least on this YouTube channel, for a little bit, mainly because Dan just moved and he didn't have a computer forever,
A
it
long
feels
time.
like. And
In a very long
he would
time.
bitch about it forever. And I try to get him to play some games, I try to get him to do stuff, and he's just like, I don't have a computer, mate. And,
Why am I Australian now? Ah, mate, I did want to play some games, but I just fucking couldn't.
well, Australian English.
They're
Yeah.
very different places, they're thousands of miles away from each other.
Hey, hey, you're the geographer here, so
Well, we're all cut from the same cloth, aren't we?
we are.
There we
So,
go.
without any further ado, I don't know how other channels do it, but I'm not really into the whole talking for 10 minutes before doing the spoilers. So let's just get right to them. These are spoilers from the Watchers on the Wall, or Watcher. It should be Watcher on the Walls, right? But I think it's actually Watchers on the Walls, what they call the box.
Surely it's watchers on the wall.
Oh, you'd think
There is
so.
one wall, yeah,
Yeah,
one wall,
there's
and
one
multiple
wall, but
watchers.
but but I'm relatively certain that in the oath it is Watcher on the
On the
Walls.
walls, yeah, it is, and that's the name of the card, the event card as well.
Yeah, it's
Um,
bizarre, is what it
It
is.
is, yeah. George R. R. Martin really struggling with his pluralization of things, but yeah, it's, so we all have our off days, don't we? So let's not take it out on him. But yeah, on with the spoils.
All right, so here's the first spoiler. It is an event, and I just put it on the screen. Oh, and by the way, Dan, I'm doing something creative right now.
What
I
you
have
doing,
like
dog?
I have a background, and I have the cards coming up. It's really cool looking and everything like that. So I think you're gonna like it
Hey,
when
dog, that's so cray.
we added some music. We we probably added some music. Hopefully, it doesn't fuck up the channel. But we added some music, and we added an opening, and now we added the actual cards for it. It's high tech, is what it is. I'm
Sick.
becoming high tech as we speak.
Tech developing, cool. Well, that's great, but let's read the card.
I suppose I'll do that then. Okay. It's a zero cost event, non-loyal. I shall win, no glory. It's Night's Watch, obviously. Reaction. After a challenge is initiated against you, kneel 3 builder characters, 3 ranger characters, or 3 steward characters to end the challenge immediately with no winner or loser.
Wow. I mean, my first thought is that this card should have been called "I shall slot into no decks,"
It's
because that's
definitely.
kind of the vibe I'm getting from it here.
I mean, yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind is why is this more cost prohibitive than Watcher on the Walls? You know what I mean? Like, Watcher on the Wall is I have to kneel 2 Rangers and I fucking kill your entire army that's attacking.
Yeah,
This, I have to
yeah.
kneel 3 Builders, Rangers, or Stewards, and all I'm doing is ending the challenge
To
with no
achieve
winner or losing.
absolutely nothing. Yeah. You know, these three characters, and the greatest effect of all time will go off.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
And then in addition, it's 0 cost, which is just, I mean, that's good in some respects, but it's easily canceled. So, and
It's not good when you have to kneel three characters out to make the event work. Because if that gets hands judgmented, which it will do,
yeah,
that will happen.
that will
You've
happen.
you've just knelt three of your characters out for nothing.
And then since the kneeling is part of the cost, yeah,
Yeah, no, it's
you
just
kneel them to end the challenge. So it's part of the cost. So you pay the cost, then they cancel it. You just knelt 3 characters and it didn't do anything. And then they just get to keep doing the challenge. And then if you knelt 3 characters, you're probably not going to have defenders for that challenge either.
no, that's it. No, and even like you got to think, okay, so let's look at this card like like you would look at Old Wick or something like that, where it's a deep seed for a deck that doesn't exist. When the Night's Watch faction has enough builders and rangers and stewards to make the mono trait decks that will eventually come along. Even in that future, are you running this? I don't think you
I'm
are.
not even sure you are. And
No.
uh, there was just recently that spoiler, the Shadow Tower Mason, that
Yeah.
you kneel 2 builders to basically get a building orders.
No, that's not the Shadow Tower, Mason. I believe you're talking about
No,
the Queen's Lake Dry Liner. Is that?
oh yeah, you're right, right.
Or maybe it's the
Castle
night
Black Mason is what it's called.
the night fort Sander. Um, it's one of them. It's one of the tradespeople of one of the castles. He's doing something, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Um,
Yeah, the Castle Black Mason. Sorry.
there you go, Castle Black Mason. So we
Yeah,
got there.
kneel 2 builder characters to search the top 10 cards of your deck for a location or attachment revealed and add to your hand, shuffle your deck. That is 2 builders, and it's way more impactful than this card. I mean, don't you think? Wouldn't you much rather get the wall than end one
Or a
fucking
Craven.
challenge?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe. It just seems bizarre to me that they would like. Okay, here's what I think with this card. It must have been really good in
Yeah, I
playtesting,
think you're right.
and
I
then they
think I
nerfed
think
the hell out of it.
I think this card did something that was potentially broken as fuck, like kneel a builder to end a challenge. That would have been good. Kneel a character to basically get for the watch effect off. That would have been a good little zero cost event.
Yeah.
But maybe they're like, oh, this is too NPE or whatever. It's just too easy for them to like end challenges and win that way. It's got too much synergy with the Haunted Forest and for the watch. We need to make it worse, much worse.
We need to make it awful. We need to make it unplayable. So we're gonna put a card into a game that probably, admittedly, if the effect were strong enough, it would kind of suck to play against. And then we're gonna make it so bad that no one will ever play it.
Yeah, I mean, even in a world where you've got this monofaction deck and you've got enough stewards on the board or enough builders on the board to do this, yeah, or you've got enough of those characters in your deck to pull this off without it being too much of a detriment. You know, you're missing event slots for other events as well. By putting this event in your deck, you're actively you've got the opportunity cost of not putting in other events.
Yeah, are you
And
taking out nightmares? Are you taking out Hand's Judgment?
you're taking out your hand judgment, you're taking out your watchers for this. Any event, Sword in the Darkness, fuck's sake, is better than this.
Yeah, I'd rather
Yeah.
play Sword in the Darkness than this.
Yeah, no, same. It's just I cannot think of a single redeeming thing about this card. And I'm someone that tries to see the best in a card when it's released.
Yeah,
I don't.
you build shitty decks with shitty cards all the time.
I do that.
And
I
even
try.
you would not touch this card.
Nah, I wouldn't touch this with a 15-foot pole, mate. This is fucking shit. This will never be used ever, and that's my hypothesis for it. And actually, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 because the art's quite nice.
Instead of a 0 out of 5.
Yeah, if the art was crap, it would be a straight 0. This is a terrible card.
Yeah, the art is nice. It looks more like a location art, honestly.
It
Uh,
does, yeah,
I
it does.
I would have thought that this would have been a location art rather than an event art, but the wall is basically just an assortment of locations, isn't it? I mean, so I don't even know how you'd have a picture that's not a character or a location, I guess. So, but anyway, it's a bad card. Probably won't ever be played, but it's
But
it's interesting,
you'd
I
certainly
guess.
hope it's never played, wouldn't you?
You would certainly hope so, yeah.
You would certainly hope that. I
So
mean, I'm sure somewhere in the world, someone will grab this card and think, no, I could really run with this idea. I could really, really give it legs.
I'll just flood the board like crazy. I'll have 7 characters on the board. And then I can kneel. I can defend 2 challenges, and then I can kneel 3 to stop the third one. I mean,
Never mind all these single icon, unprotectable, non-uniques that I've got that will die instantly to a plot that's here's quite popular at the minute. Never mind that. We'll go wide anyway.
we'll
We'll
just
get
go super wide.
seven
Uh,
stewards on the board.
the one deck that I think this would work well against is those Lord of the Crossing decks that just go, weak challenge, everything in one challenge.
Oh yeah, well, that's a good point. A fair argument. I can
Um,
see that, but you still need to have 3 of whatever character standing.
yeah. So you'd have to have, if they do the intrigue challenge, you'd have to have a steward. A military challenge, you have to have a ranger, and then
Mm,
the big power challenge where they have the 3 renowned characters and Fast
that
Eddie and everything like that.
that's when you've got your various carpenters, joiners, plasterers, plumbers, masons. They're all ready with their chisels and their hammers, and they're just there to kneel, shut that sweet crossing deck down, just absolutely ruin it.
Then you kneel the 3 and you're like, yeah, stop this big challenge. You get no power from the Lord of the Crossing, your renown or power claim at all.
Or alternatively, you just run Shadow Tower and Thorin, and fuck them that way. But
Yeah,
if you want to add a bit of flair to it,
that's the better alternative. Yes.
yeah. But yeah, okay. Now at least you tried to find a redeeming quality for it, so that's something. Anyway, shall we move on to the other far superior card
Yeah.
this
And,
review?
and this is a card that there was a minor spoiler for it. Like it was like the art was spoiled. They didn't show the
Yeah.
text of it, but it was in one of the little fans that they put in the articles. So let's pull that one up right now.
Oh wait, let's get up on the big screen.
It's right
Carol,
there.
there she is. There she blows.
So why don't you read this one, Dan?
All right, I will. So we have here a non-loyal Night's Watch attachment, cost 3, with the trait Weapon. It's called Catapult on the Wall, and judging by the artwork, it is exactly that.
Try
And
the
the
wall.
text, it is on the wall, and it definitely looks like some sort of trebuchet of some description. And the text reads, "Action, kneel catapult on the wall, and attach character to choose and kill an attacking character with strength 4 or lower. Attached character cannot stand during the standing phase this round." Well, that's a card, isn't it?
So when I first read this card, I thought like, oh wow, killing an attacking character. That's any challenge, any phase. It's not
Yeah.
restricted to military. You can kill anything that comes attacking at you.
Yeah.
But
Strength 4 or lower.
strength 4 or lower is a really bad restriction on this. It's nice that it's a weapon because then all your no attachments except weapon people can still carry it. Obviously, if it was not a weapon, it'd be garbage. But um, the strength 4 or lower bothers me. And here's the thing: there are some valuable strength 4 characters to kill. Blackfish is 4 strength. You can effectively kill Blackfish.
Nine mirror. I mean, like, no, it's got some juicy targets there. It's not so much the thing that bothers me least about this card is not the strength 4 or lower. That's fine. That I can deal with. Because if you think about it, strength 4 is actually it's the average strength for most bomb cards.
It's
Tyrion.
it's right
4.
below the average, I would say.
I don't know. I think when you get into strength 5, you're getting into you're getting into Jamie, Corrin, like Khal Drogo territory, Danny. There's a lot. Basically, the really expensive bombs generally tend to be 5 and above. Your cost 5 bombs are most of the time strength 4, and I know there's a couple of exceptions, but kneeling this out to kill a Tyrion, yeah, fine, that's great. But that's not my gripe with it. My gripe with it is, first of all, it's cost 3, uh, which is a lot of money for something that can get confiscated
Yeah.
next turn. You can get High Garden for cost 3. What other fantastic locations are there for cost 3?
The White Tree.
White Tree, there you go. That will affect your opponent's entire game for the game. What else? Some good cost 3 locations. The Red Keep, the probably one of, if not the best location in the game.
Yeah. Bear
Um,
Island.
Bear Island is, well, okay, it's not a great example, but who the fuck plays Bear Island? After all the hype that card got, no
Oh.
one plays it. I don't even see it as like a
Yeah,
way.
that was a funny card when it first came out.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, this is fantastic." But anyway, you're right. I
Back
mean,
to
3 costs is just very expensive for a card that could very easily be there for 1 turn.
It will be. I mean, I know the argument is saying, well, who's gonna confiscate this over like a Craven or a Milk? But then, what are you cutting? Again, what are you cutting for this?
Yeah.
And the other huge thing is, not only do you have to kneel it, you have to kneel the character it's attached to, and neither of them can stand the next round. So you can actually only use this once every other turn, and for the turn you're not using it, you're down a defender.
Yeah. Oh, I think the attachment can stand, but the character doesn't. Not that it really matters. I mean,
It makes it,
Halder can
yeah.
reuse it during the turn that the character is knelt, but
Okay, so yeah, so while your poor little sworn brother, who's manning the catapult, is just fumbling around on his hands and knees trying to like find some more rocks to sling, not only can you then use this the next turn to kill a mighty 4 strength character, you can kneel it with Halder to get a handy strength 1+ boost.
yeah. Now I will say, if there were ways to reduce strength of attacking characters, this suddenly becomes pretty fucking good. Like, if there was if there was a reverse Halder, you know what I mean?
Mm. Or like what you're talking about, Dracarys basically for
Oh,
us.
yeah,
Night's Watch Dracarys.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
Dan,
pretty
did we
much.
just break this card? Is this Banner of the Watch in the fabled Targ Watch?
Targaryen
Targ Watch?
Banner of the Watch.
Just
Oh,
in case you weren't able to kill that 6 strength Tywin with your Dracarys, now you can kneel the catapult and the sworn
well,
brother it's attached to.
well.
That's it.
This is non-loyal and it does not have a attachment restriction. You can put this on Khal Drogo.
Oh god. Do you know who you could put this on, mate? Oh god, I've just thought you could put this on Merchant Prince, yeah.
You
Not
can put
only
this on Merchant Prince.
you could put this on the Merchant Prince, not only giving him a military icon, but boosting him up to a mighty Strength 4 Bicon. That you will never get to use in combat because he'll always be kneeling to fire the catapult. But he will be Strength 4 and he will have a military icon, so that is important to note.
Hey, we just found a use for this card.
There you go, guys. But if we could just be serious for 1 second here, just get to the nitty gritty of this.
You get 1
I
second.
I just genuinely can't see myself ever trying to run this either. It's probably a 2 gold overcosted, maybe 1 if we were going to be, if we're going to tiptoe around targeted kill effects, which they were doing for a while last cycle, and then just thought, nah, fuck all of that, let's throw it to the wind, and bought Roose, Harrenhal, Joffrey, and God knows what else all in the same pack. Was Jack and Agar in that pack? Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he? So yeah, they don't. It's weird that they've suddenly gone back to tiptoeing again, and this just seems, yeah, a bit like the last cards. It might have had a similar effect. They might have been testing it, and it was really too strong, so they nerfed it a bit too much, and now we have the thing.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not a playtester, so I don't really know the process. Maybe it was even worse, and the playtesters convinced them to make it playable. You know,
Is this playable?
I think it's playable. You know, I think that you can put one of them in, and then basically Asha can't attack you, Cersei can't attack you, Chella can't attack you. Tyrion can't attack. This hurts Lannister. This is really good against Lannister, actually.
Well, this is assuming that they don't, they're unduped,
Oh yeah,
So in the case of like, Asher and Greyjoy, they're probably going to have saves, aren't they?
yeah,
Or alternatively, they just won't attack you for a turn, and then they'll confiscate it.
yeah,
All of
yeah,
those
pretty
decks are
much.
confiscation. Like, you're like, oh, you really slowed me down. Basically, your entire turn's gold, and I've just gotten rid of that with one of probably the most commonly played plot in the entire game.
I,
Being
I
honest.
I would say it's the most commonly played. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think actually that is statistically correct as well. There was one tournament, either in America or England, where they checked the plots in everyone's deck, and confiscation was the most popular. So yeah, that's a bit disheartening for a 3-cost attachment, but hey
yeah,
ho, worse things happen at CA.
yeah. I mean, it's better than the event. You can say that.
It is better than the event. In credit to the catapult, it's better than the event. But I don't think that's really something that factors into a lot of deck builders' decisions. Like, oh, this is a really bad card, but here's this other card that's bad, but not as bad as the other one.
Maybe I'll find room for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two thoroughly underwhelming cards from the Night's Watch box there. But every other card we've seen is pretty great. So I mean, they had to have a
Yeah.
couple of shit cards, didn't they?
Not every single card could be amazing. You know.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
gotta you gotta throw some chaff in there.
you look at just what was spoiled in the last chapter pack or the last preview, and it was they started to show that stewards might actually start becoming a legitimate theme with Bowen Marsh and the new gift.
Yeah, I
I,
think
I
I think all three traits will become legitimate themes in times. I think you'll probably be able to play the builder deck quite soon. There's quite a lot of builders now.
Yeah, yeah, and, and,
Um,
and Castle Black Mason definitely adds consistency to the deck. You're able to.
Definitely.
It's a steep cost with kneeling two builders to go search your top 10, but
Mm,
it you can run building orders or you can not run building orders, and then like, you're looking for these guys or the wall. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So and then obviously even Jon Snow is looking like he's going to be playable with
he's getting better.
Gren
Yeah,
and Pip coming out, and
Gren and Pip. They it's good actually that they've got that sweet Jon Snow sigil. You still need to run a lot of crap in order to get him. I did some rather extensive testing with Jon Snow recently in an effort to
I
get
know
him
you did.
played. Didn't have the best night when we were recording games with that one, sadly.
Yeah.
Those games will probably never make the big screen. We
Uh,
edit our losses here on Joe's channel.
oh no, you edit your losses.
You can actually put that first one up. That was horrific. Anyway,
Oh, the key to when you're choosing what videos to put up, it's all about whether it was a good game or not. I mean, even the one game that I played, where I beat the guy, uh, it was
it was a good game. It was close, wasn't it? It
it
was
was a really
close.
close game, but it wasn't anything new to what I was doing. Like I was hoping to showcase that banner, and I was hoping to showcase the fact that like the deck runs Valar, which I still haven't really showcased on my channel. But neither of those things really mattered at all in the game. It was just another wall deck. So I don't know. It's things like that that I have to consider when posting, because I know that people do get burnt out on just watching the same deck over and over again. So
Yeah, that's true. Well, you've always got me here to play some zany crap. So,
yeah,
yeah, well, I think that pretty much summarizes our excitement levels for those two cards and how hyped we are for those. I, for one, can't wait to not ever put them in any decks. I'm sure you feel the same, Joe.
yeah. I don't see myself playing either of these cards. So
I, for one, can't wait to put them into a dusty slot in my binder somewhere. Never see those. And, yeah, it's a shame winter's passed because we could, burn them for some much needed warmth in those bitter months of
oh,
chill.
As
They've
Shamar
just
says,
experienced.
it'd make a good bookmark, right?
Oh yeah, that's good. Nice, a nice sort of castle-y themed bookmark to very evocative of the world of George R. R. Martin. If you're catching up on some of the Game of Thrones books, or even a non-Game of Thrones book, if that's
Yeah.
your style.
So yeah, you can be reading a non Game of Thrones book and be reminded of Game of Thrones while you're reading it.
Yes, it's true. That could be incredibly distracting if it's not, you don't do it for hobby, but yeah.
So
Uh,
with that, is there anything else we want to say about these cards or anything else?
um, I don't have anything to say about these cards. I'm very excited for the Night's Watch box. It looks very, very good and very strong so far, and very balanced as well from what I've seen. There's nothing in there that just screams broken to me just yet.
I think some people would disagree with you. I remember
Yeah,
when
but those people haven't played as much Night's Watch as we have, and as we know from the Facebook group, people just tend to knee jerk at certain cards. Like the guy that was getting really annoyed about New Old Bear, and is like, bro, he has exactly the same problem that Old Bear has, and no one plays Old Bear.
I know.
It's
Well,
like,
to that, I would say I remember when Corrin first was coming out. I was so excited. I was like, oh yeah, they're not gonna want to do military challenges because I'm gonna kill one of their characters,
yeah,
and if I can come back on a military challenge, I can kill one of their characters, and they have to take claim. It's gonna be
hmm
amazing. Then I
yeah,
started playing them, and it's like, man, there are like no non-unique characters in this game.
yeah. It's
Like
like the
there'd
most
be
popular decks.
there'd be like turns, like literal three straight turns where my opponent would not even have a non-unique character. It'd be like Arya, Bran, you know, John, Blackfish, Catelyn. That was their board state,
Yeah.
and it's just
When
like, ugh.
when you think the most popular decks in the game, I don't know about you, in Europe, the most popular factions are things like Baratheon's enormously popular here. There's some good targets in that actually, but like
Yeah,
Lannister, there's not really any because everyone's running all the fun uniques. Stark is really popular as well.
yeah. Targaryen, you're not really seeing many non-uniques.
Targ, there's barely any. It's just Dany and her dragons, and then
There's Dany, her dragons. You might see Barristan. You might see
maybe some
Jorah.
Dothrakis. Maybe some Dothraki dudes. Quaithe. All their little like chumpy characters are all unique. So
Yeah,
yeah, Targ's eternally popular. Yeah, so it didn't really have the impact everyone was thinking.
yeah.
I actually think Corrin is not great in the wall deck. I think he's much better in aggro decks, but
Yeah,
that's
he's decent in a wall deck, but he's definitely not essential.
no.
He's just a good character, and he has renown, which is nice
Yeah,
because
I
he can win
suppose
some
that's probably the
challenges.
most appealing thing about Corrin in the wall deck is the renown, just having that extra bit of power gain.
Yeah, so Old Bear Mormon, I mean the new one, he can steal non-unique characters from their discard pile, but uh, next time you play a game, whoever's listening, next time you play a game, just check your opponent's discard pile every once in a while, and see how many non-uniques end up there. Because unless you're running Varus and they have a bunch of non-uniques that they play, the only real good way to get non-uniques into the discard pile is just Intrigue Claim,
Yeah.
and that's unreliable as hell. Uh,
Well, no, you can, Joe. Let's not forget his Raven. You can, you can play two copies of his Raven, and then he gets stealth and an intrigue icon. Ooh,
oh, you're right.
ooh, you just better hope he doesn't get milked or cravened. Then, then your whole strategy goes right out the window. Your
Right?
8 gold character goes right out the window. Then,
I know. Same problem with the other old bear. So, yeah, I
yeah.
mean, the strongest card in the pack, in my opinion, right now. Ugh, I, I'm not sure,
What
honestly.
in the box? You mean?
Yeah, in the box that's been revealed so far, I would say probably. I'm just looking through them right now.
I think the one of the strongest is Jeremy or Jeremy.
Jaromir Racker. Yeah.
He's very strong. He's
He's
very, very strong. He
he's gonna
makes,
make Thorin good. He's gonna make the Old Forest Hunters good.
yeah,
Gren and Pip, the Lost Ranger. I mean, there's
yeah.
plenty of
He's got,
targets
he's
for
got,
it.
he's got the knight trait as well. I know that's not a major one, but that's, allows you to opens up the watch banner a little more, or if there's any knight synergy going on there.
Eh,
Better than Alistair anyway. But yeah, it's mainly the power icon and no attachments that
um,
make him so good. And Ranger as well.
the fire that burns is legitimately a strong plat, but it's not broken like everyone seems to think it
Uh,
is.
New Jon Snow's great, but he doesn't go in the wall deck.
No,
Um,
not necessarily. He might, but probably not.
I don't know, man. You know, you're hurting for seven costers. You know,
I know.
again, it's just old bear. It's old bear again. Like he's got the same. He's a bike on with strength 6, exactly the same as old bear. But you can put milk on him, so you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't know that wall deck. You just want all of your characters really to not have attachments except weapon. You
I
know,
know. It's
that's the
really
one.
yeah, because it's really you're not gonna run confiscation.
No.
You're not gonna run Rattleshirt's Raiders. So basically, if they put an attachment on one of your characters, it's gonna be there forever.
Yeah, until you march or fallen from favor them if you're running this.
Yeah, but stop that. Don't do that. Don't fallen from favor your 7 cost Jon Snow. That's a,
But then you can play another copy the exact same turn.
so
Don't you
so fallen
understand?
from favor becomes a 0 gold confiscation at that point.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
it's not great.
So
But yeah, anyway, hopefully as we get more spoilers from the box, we can bring them to you via this channel. And you know, I look forward to talking about some much more interesting cards.
I hope so too. So with that, everyone, thanks for watching. This is a pretty short video, all things considered. Um, anything? We got nothing else. So thanks for
No,
watching.
that's it. Peace out, guys.
Bye.